this women's basketball matchup. A look at the starting lineups for both sides. University of Portland rolling out the same starting five they have all season. Stanford doing the same. Two of the best shot blockers in the country going toe-to-toe, and Lucy Cochran and Cameron Brink. Should be fun to watch this front court matchup, Mary.
No doubt about it. Cochran does not get into a whole lot of foul trouble, so she's going to need to stand strong inside against Brink and Iriafen.
Elena Bozgan, another player to watch for Stanford. She has worked her way into the starting lineup after coming in off the bench rather in 28 games a season ago. Averaged 9 minutes per game. Now an everyday starter for coach Tara Vanderveer. And here's head coach Michael Meek in his 5th season leading the Portland Pilots. What a job he's done in his first 4 seasons. Led this group to their 2nd and 3rd ever West Coast Conference tournament titles in his first season at the helm back in 2019-2020. Led the Pilots to the first 20-win season the program has experienced since 96-97. They won the tournament again last year as well. And there is the legend, head coach Tara Vanderveer, a 5-time National Coach of the Year, a 17-time Pac-12 Coach of the Year, all-time winningest head coach in women's college basketball history, and 9 games away from passing up head coach Mike Krzyzewski and becoming the winningest coach on the men or women's side. That's something that could happen coming up this season. 4th all-time meeting between Portland and Stanford. The Card own the series 3-0, and they will get the opening possession here. Stanford looking to bounce back from a tough loss against Gonzaga on the road in Spokane. Talana Lapolo running the point. She'll get it back. Was gone up for 3, rattles out. Brink the board. Brink the putback. And one opportunity for Cameron Brink. Immediately the Card looking to go inside.
Well, they want to get Bozgana going. Misses that one, but inside, this is a team that will absolutely demolish you on the offensive board. Stanford is plus 20 on the board so far this season.
Cameron Brink with a rare miss from the free throw line, shooting more than 96% from the charity stripe on the season. Has made a major effort to improve in that regard. Mikel Meek running the point for Portland. Head coach Michael Meek's daughter, that 3 offline. Very often with the rebound.
With the long miss. Oh, Cameron Brink is just really happy to be out there and feeling good.
Brink did not play in the second half of that Gonzaga game after dealing with an illness. Certainly her presence was missed in that matchup. The fake there by Jump. Brink, baseline jumper falls. Cameron Brink with the opening baskets.
Really clear that Gonzaga played an outstanding basketball game in front of a packed house up in Spokane. Over, I think, 6,800 people in the house. It was quite the setting for the upset.
First loss of the season, 96-78. Gonzaga now 21st ranked. They were not ranked at the time. That ball short, but an O board for Portland. Second chance here, Dickey on the drive. Working on Iriafen, tries to put it up. No. Lapolo to jump from the corner. Got it.
She is eyeballing her after she crossed half court and just kind of bobbed and weaved her way to get that ball to Hannah Jump.
Hannah Jump shooting 38.5% from beyond the arc this season. Shockingly, that's her worst 3-point percentage of her career. One of the best 3-point shooters in the country. Can't give her that type of space in the corner.
The challenge for Portland is to have some early success on the offensive end. They are struggling so far.
Shot clock at 7. Burnham driving on Jump. Burnham denied. Iriafen cleans it up. Polo now pushing. She'll pull up just outside the elbow. Drains it.
Coach Meek has to take it. He's got to regroup and say, we're going to figure this thing out.
A 7-0 start for the Stanford Cardinal. Portland head coach Michael Meek going to try to rally his troops. 4 points for Cameron Brink. Hannah Jump, a nice 3-pointer as well. More fourth quarter action coming up. Stanford off to a 9-0 start here inside of Maples Pavilion. The baskets just started adding up quickly. Portland yet to get on the board. Mayor, what do they need to do here on this offensive possession to put one in?
They need to be crisp. They need to have movement with intent. But you can't try to drive to the bucket as the shot clock's running down with Cameron Brink there, because she knows only one thing's going to happen. The shot's going to go up, and she's going to get a block.
Stanford starting out 4 for 4 from the field. Portland yet to hit a shot here in the early going of quarter number 1. Meek. Dickey under pressure from Iriafen draws the contact.
Iriafen knew it. Helps Dickey up. Dickey, the transfer from USF. A really energetic player. Does a great job of getting up and down the floor. Can hit the mid-range jumper.
Dickey coming off a season-high 16 points against UTEP. Was a two-time All-West Coast Conference second-team selection at USF, but it takes some time to learn a new system, regardless of how experienced you are, right?
Yeah, just get to know each other.
Shot from three, high arcing ball falls. Emmy Shearer with the first basket of the game for Portland.
Averages 11 a game. It's important for her to get going. She was preseason all WCC. Zone defense.
Oh, what a pass. Dimitri the finish.
The emergence of Cameron Brink as a passer. I mean, she could easily just turn around and take that shot.
There's a jump ball to Lana Lapolo right there.
It's a Stanford team that's playing with a lot of intent on both ends of the floor. Here, you just see the release from high to low by Brooke Dimitri and a beautiful dish by Cameron Brink.
Brink averaging 2 assists per game on the season. Certainly stands out for a player her height playing down low. Dickey here gets the inbounds on the baseline. Shearer back out to Meek. Cochran gets it around Brink. Shot clock at 7. Dickey for 3. No. Bozgana the rebound.
He has rebounded well so far this season.
Averaging 5 boards per game. Mentioned as Brooke Dimitri knocks down a jumper.
1-2-2 matchup zone. This middle is the soft part of it. And Dimitri, who's such a great shooter, just parks herself, demands the ball, and comes away with 2.
Dimitri averaging 5 points, just over 5 boards per game. That one comes up short from Cochran. Lapolo now pushing, draws the foul. Meek looking a little bit frustrated.
Lapolo comes down. Dimitri, and trust me, when Brooke Dimitri gets the ball in her hands, she knows exactly what to do with it.
Dimitri shooting just under 44% from the field, but nearly 35% from 3. She can stretch the floor, and Coach Vanderveer's talked about how much her confidence has increased every season. What have you noticed about Brooke Dimitri's play this year?
Well, she just keeps working hard, and the more minutes she gets, the better she gets. And she's just going to eat this zone up alive if she keeps getting those touches.
Right on cue, Dimitri with a couple of quick baskets. Pilots need to respond here. Stanford up 15-3. Shearer now tying for a team lead, just under 11 points per game. Working on jump, gets inside, no. Lapolo pushing. Over the top to Brink, reels it in under pressure. She is fouled.
And if you're Shearer, what are you going to do? I mean, you're double team that thing. She's still able to, Cameron Brink's able to get a handle on it. She brings it down a little bit. You got to try to grab and create some kind of problem.
Shearer called for her first. The team is third. This one's going to be down in the baseline. A couple of subs made as well for the Pilots. Into the game now, the fantastic freshman, 4-time West Coast Conference Freshman of the Week, Diani Ananiev. There's Brink at the line. Talked a little bit about the evolution of Cameron Brink from the free throw line. What type of work did she put in the gym to now be putting up these type of numbers, more than 96% from the charity stripe?
Well, I think if you want to be a great player, you have to recognize your weaknesses and get to work on it. You can't just shy away and focus on all the things you do well. And it's one of the things that Cameron Brink has put the time into, and she's reaping the benefits.
Brink was shooting just under 63% going into last season from the charity stripe. Now a 96% free throw shooter. Truly remarkable. And here's Hamilton. Kicks it back out. Ananiev gets the triple.
Talk about a pressure release. I mean, she just came up, squared away. They got her the ball with beautiful timing, and it's just relieves a lot of pressure on that bench and on the floor.
Ananiev, one of several Aussies on this Portland team. Jump. Got it.
That's the kind of move that gets WNBA coaches talking. It's just not the initial touch, but the ability to adjust to the defense with that sidestep, get yourself settled, and knock down a quick three.
Hannah Jump now 1 3-pointer away from tying Kiana Williams as the all-time career 3-point leader in program history. Ananiev driving baseline, crafty finish.
Crafty finish over a great shot blocker in Cameron Brink. That is to inspire others on her team.
Stanford 8 of 8 from the field. Lapolo inside, gets the roll. Stanford off to the 28 start here. Hamilton running the point here. Woodland Hills, California native, Long Beach State University transfer. Spent 5 seasons with the Beach. Shot clock at 5.
It is go time.
Hamilton, 1. Last opportunity, not in time. Shot clock violation called on Portland.
Yeah, you got to lift your head up, and you cannot play hot potato with it. You've got to get a shot up.
This Portland team likes to play very high pressure defense, force turnovers, but also taking care of the basketball, something that's been a concern. 31 turnovers in their last game against UTEP, something that Coach Meek pointed out they could tighten up. Oh, what a pass. Dimitri lays it in.
Dimitri said, I love this zone defense. Do not go out of it. She's perfect. 3 for 3 so far.
Pass inside. Working is Dickey. Or rather, Burnham brought down. Scramble for the ball. Up for grabs. Reeled in by Aguirre. Up ahead. Clardy. No. Ananiev now pushing. She'll pull it back out. Burnham.
Good reset by Portland. No reason to be in a hurry. Let's get a better shot.
Hamilton lays it off. Working there is Natalie Fraley, the sophomore guard out of Kelso, Washington. Hamilton gets it back. Shot clock at 7. Fraley. Shot clock at 4, but it's another turnover for the Pilots.
Layup. What a dish, and the finish. But the timing between Brink and Dimitri is beautiful so far in this ball game.
Running the point here is Chloe Clardy out of Conway, Arkansas, the first Arkansas player on the Stanford team. Jump from deep, no. Ananiev the rebound. Ananiev averaging just over 2 boards per game. Hamilton now will slow it down, but there's another turnover. Jump in transition. Nice pass to Clardy. Out of play.
It's a great game for the freshmen to come in. Finals are over, and your first round of finals in college is enough to stress anybody out. So you're just so happy when they're over.
Clardy coming off a career-high 9 points in 13 minutes against Gonzaga. Dimitri shot off line. Brink. Putback won't fall.
You're upset with yourself for that miss. Did a lot of work early.
Vogel into the game. Over the top. Finds Fraley. Hamilton's shot won't go. Pushing here's Clardy. Aguirre. Tough one. Draws the contact.
Nice push ahead. Freshman to freshman.
Great opportunity for these freshmen to gain some experience. Nuno Aguirre, Minnetonka, Minnesota native, averaging just under 9 points, 4 rebounds per game, just under 1.5 assists as well. Had 13 points, 3 boards, 3 assists against Gonzaga, so one of the 3 players who scored 13 in that matchup despite the Cards struggling in a couple of areas. She had a nice performance.
First Stanford player from Minnesota since the great Susan King Borchard, former point guard extraordinaire, now trainer to the Stars.
And Aguirre sinks that free throw. She's a 92% free throw shooter, was coming into this game. Hamilton under some pressure here from Clardy. Surveying on the elbow is Spear, gets it back inside. Hamilton denied, but the foul is called. Some boos from the crowd. They thought that might have been clean.
Well, if you're Clardy, there's no reason to reach because behind you is Cameron Brink, and she's going to get anything within about an 8-foot radius.
Clardy's first here. Hamilton now going to the line. The redshirt senior guard out of Woodland Hills, California. Mentioned she played 5 seasons at Long Beach State. Was an All-Big West honorable mention selection last year, averaging more than 11 points and over 2 steals per game as well, getting it done on both ends. But another piece who's still trying to learn the system, get comfortable with the players around her.
When we talk about system, Coach Meek has a system. He loves his zone to match up. They like different looks with it. It's you know, it's tough to adjust to. You've played other styles. This team will get there.
Foul called as Brink tried to reel that one in. Lainey Spear, the freshman forward out of Portland, Oregon, into the matchup and immediately being put on Cameron Brink. How about that matchup for a freshman?
A couple of Portland natives. A lot of great high school basketball in the state of Oregon. So Clardy talking with Coach Vanderveer.
Brink sinks the first. Cameron Brink, only player in the country averaging 18-plus points and 11-plus rebounds and 3-plus blocks per game this season, and just under 22 minutes per game as well. Has been so efficient, continues to elevate each season. Another turnover. Brink now putting on her point guard hat there for a moment.
She's got a point guard hat. She has a lot of hats. She has developed different hats as she's gone along in her career. Can hit the 3 now. Doesn't spend most of the game on the bench in foul trouble anymore. Makes free throws.
Jumps 3 offline. Shot clock off now. Bozgana goes back up with it. No. Fights for her own rebound. Jump ball is the call. It will stay with the Cardinal.
That's a Portland team that usually defends very well, but giving up 28 points in the first quarter, that's a tough hill to climb.
Stanford shooting 56% from the field, 40% from 3. Bozgana fires. No. Portland able to come up with a rebound. 5 to go. Hamilton. 1 to go. In traffic. Shot from 3. Misses everything. Big first quarter for the Stanford Cardinal hosting the Portland Pilots. 28-9 the score here after 1. Stanford up 28-9. A big reason why. Brooke Dimitri with 8 points. How's she been able to get it done?
Well, she's just shredding this zone, sitting in the middle of it. Their teammates doing a great job of finding her. 6'3", the junior out of Southern California, and it's just not about her scoring, which is sensational. She's a great rebounder. She defends, and the other thing about her, when you're around her, she's uplifting. She always has a smile on her face, and she's the kind of player you need on your team, on the floor, on the bench, in the locker room, and in your life, because she just is a great teammate.
Dimitri, a Foothill Ranch, California native, was the California Gatorade Player of the Year, 5-star recruit coming out of high school, steadily grown each season here on the farm.
You know, that Gonzaga team, that game was big. Both her mom and dad played baseball and volleyball at Gonzaga, so I'm sure there was some mixed feelings on that one.
Yeah. Turning inside is Shearer, whose shot won't fall. Jump pushing. She'll slow it down back to Lapolo. Now, if you're a parent, do you do like half and half? Do you wear the Gonzaga shirt underneath, or
I think you're all in on the kid. I think you're all in on that.
All right, I'll trust your judgment as a parent, Mayor. Iriafen gets it down low, gets the finish.
When you watch her play this year, is just she has more patience with that. She doesn't rush herself, and you become much more effective, and you're a 60% shooter from the floor.
Iriafen with just her first basket of the game as Dickey works against her here around the elbow. Cochran way outside. Shot clock at 7.
Trying to isolate, hand to jump down low.
Meek's three, not even close. Lopolo here pushing. But Talana Lopolo coming back as a sophomore really made a statement of preseason all Pac-12 honorable mention selection as she gets some space beyond the arc. Not quite on line though. Foul called as Bozgana tried to run down the board.
I think that's one area where Stanford needs to be better. Is Lopolo needs to be better. She has to shoot the ball better. She just needs to, just up her game a little bit more. Iriafen just going to work, and you felt the pace. The most important thing, possession of that ball. Now figure out the move that's going to work.
Now with Talana Lopolo, she came in last year, not one of the highly touted recruits like some other Stanford players coming in, as there's an unfortunate turnover for the Cardinal. Now this year coming in, people know who you are. There are expectations. Can that impact a player coming into their sophomore season?
Oh, for sure. But I really love the communication between the two of them. The little disconnect between Lopolo and Iriafen. Make eye contact, say, we got this. We'll get better next time.
Just the first turnover for Stanford. Turnovers and fouls, something that Coach Tara Vanderveer has honed in on. Turnaround, falls. Shearer with the basket.
That was a nice post up over a lot of length with Bozgana. Jump is wide open in the corner.
Bozgana trying to get it to jump. It did take a deflection. Jump from deep, no. Bozgana runs down the long rebound. Another chance here for Stanford. Talked about how important rebounding was going to be for the Pilots as Iriafen drives inside, denied. Lucy Cochran.
That's what Shear goes inside. They are trying to post up inside with Cochran pulled out into the perimeter and gets it to go. And the block with the nation's best shot blockers says to Kiki Iriafen. Think about it again.
Cochran leading the nation both in total blocks with 48, now 49, and blocks per game averaging more than 4. Dimitri rises up.
Shearer trying to pick up some pace.
Shearer pushing. Handoff. Cochran almost has it ripped away by Iriafen. It's a jump ball. Is going to be the possession for the Cardinal.
That's where Shearer just needs to come down. If you can take the shot, take the 10-footer or the 12-footer, but she drives in there and gives her the ball to her teammate. There's nowhere to go.
Emmy Shearer averaging just under 11 points, 3.2 rebounds per game. Auckland, New Zealand native.
That was a beautiful place.
Some full court pressure there from the Pilots.
They want to mix and match their presses and their half-court zones.
Dimitri into Iriafen, working on Cochran, puts it up and in.
What do you like about that? She just got her shot blocked and she comes right back at her.
Talked a little bit in the open about the evolution of Kiki Iriafen, more than 17 points per game. But you notice just how confident and strong she is now compared to one season ago going up with the ball. Because that one won't fall for Shearer. What's the biggest difference you've noticed in Kiki Iriafen this season?
Well, I just think it's confidence. I think it's playing with Cameron Brink, and you've got to decide who you're going to guard. And it's playing on a team that has so many great three-point shooters that, opposing coaches have to pick their poison. Are we going to double? Are we going to stay one-on-one inside? How are we going to defend this Stanford team? It is a challenge.
Iriafen and Brink, two of just 8 players in the country averaging at least 17 points and 10 boards per game. And Iriafen is the second best year-over-year improvement in the country in rebounding average. She's plus 6.2 from a season ago, averaging 10 boards per game. Now the Pilots looking to get something on the board. 32-11 lead for Stanford. They've got to try to close the gap. Hamilton driving, kick out. Foul called as Shearer was trying to drive on Aguera.
We can sense the challenge for the Pilots. Stanford's in a stance. They're big, they're long. They're not allowing people to turn the corner. They're not allowing people to come off screens cleanly. There isn't a lot that's clicking on this offense, and a big part of it is because of the aggressiveness of the Stanford defense.
Cochran gets the ball in. Now how does this Pilots team try to counteract that, as there is a foul called down low on Hannah Jump.
It was a great cut from the weak side to the strong, a beautiful pass.
So what can the Pilots try to do to combat the aggression and the turnovers the Stanford defense is forcing.
Well, I've said this a lot over the years, and that is sometimes you have to work as hard offensively as you do defensively.
Right as Cochran puts one up and in.
We talk about digging in on defense and really working hard. If you want to score against a great defensive team, you need to do that on every possession, every dribble on the offensive end.
Pilots come up with a quick turnover. Here comes Hamilton. Kicks it out. Extra pass. Hamilton runs into Brink. It is called a foul.
Well, my comment was going to be, where are you going when you're driving in and you see Cameron Brink, but where you create the contact, but just puts her shoulder down and kind of rams into her, you're going to blow the whistle? Yes, that's a block.
Cameron Brink called for her first. Whoa, turnaround there. Got a little funky by Emmy Shearer.
Well, it got funky because it got cammed.
And Dickey there. Cam Brink was there. She thought she had the block, but the foul called. That one's called on Brooke Dimitri as the two of them were working down low.
And you can see the foul from behind by Dimitri. But again, there's no reason to be aggressive if you're Dimitri there because you've got the luxury of Cameron Brink behind you.
Dickey sinks one there from the free throw line. Shooting just under 76% from the charity stripe on the season.
And I mean luxury. I mean, you can overplay because anything coming at the bucket is going to be thoroughly focused on by Cameron Brink.
Polo comes up with a rebound there. Jump. Aguirre. No. Brink sent Dickey to the ground. Now she takes a chance. Cochran pushing up to Shearer. She'll pull it back out. Shearer resets once again. Shearer driving on Lapolo, draws the foul.
Boy, Lapolo did everything really well there until that final foul.
The Pilots now in the bonus, but it's a 32-14 Stanford lead. The 9th-ranked Stanford Cardinal off to a hot start, however, not able to play tonight, unfortunately, as redshirt sophomore guard Janiyah Harriel and freshman forward Courtney Ogden, which is unfortunate. Ogden coming off a career-high 13 points against Gonzaga. Harriel has seen increased production, more minutes this season. Would have been great to see them get some experience in this game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and if you're coming off finals, you want to get in and you want to play. Harriel is 5'9", redshirt sophomore out of Sacramento, really starting to see more time. You can see the improvement. And Courtney Ogden, I mean, you go to a practice, 6'1", the freshman out of Atlanta, is going to be a superstar. 13 points, was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc against Gonzaga, and it is coming, and it is coming fast. Look forward to seeing her play when Pac-12 play starts.
Ogden has some experience with USA basketball as well. Won gold at the FIBA U18 Women's Americas Championship in Buenos Aires. That shot will go.
Been scoreless in the last 2 minutes.
1 for 8 from the field as well. His jump gives it right back to Lapolo. Ozgana gets inside to Brink. Brink working.
That's a good call.
Offensive foul called. Cameron Brink showing a little bit of frustration. That's her second.
Wanted it to be the flop call, but you can see her lead with the elbow.
Cameron Brink been working on her discipline, trying to stay out of foul trouble early in games. She has 2. Travel call here, though. Turnover for the Pilots. What's the key for Cameron Brink to staying out of foul trouble?
Make good decisions. Contain that aggression. And I think we all know, and it's well documented, how valuable she is to this team on the floor and how much it hurts when she's not.
Lapolo draws the foul here. One called on Kennedy Dickey. That's her first.
Dickey plays a physical style of play.
Stanford now in a 243 scoring drought. Almost a turnover there. A little bit of a miscue.
Interesting lineup on the floor for Stanford. It's not often you see Brink and Iriafen both sitting.
4 on the shot clock. Aguirre with 1, puts it up, draws the foul.
The referees are calling a close game. I mean, they're just not letting anything go, and I think it's important for players to just kind of adjust to that.
3rd team foul for Portland. They still have a couple more to give. That one's on Shearer. That's her 2nd. Nuna Aguirre going to the line.
And you mentioned Ogden playing for USA basketball. Aguirre did as well, played in Hungary in the summer of 22. Boy, that international experience just makes such a difference. Coaches you're exposed to, the different players that are your teammates, the places that you go.
Aguirre winning gold in that FIBA U17 Women's World Cup. What's the biggest difference between the international game and what you see here in the women's collegiate game in the U.S.?
Oh, just probably pace, the physicality of the game in the U.S.
Cochran comes up with the O-board, draws the foul on the miss from Ananiev. Lucy Cochran will go to the line. Just 2 points for her so far tonight, averaging 9.5 per game. Now we'll go to the free throw line. Can the Pilots try to feed her more, or is it too difficult with what Stanford has in the front court?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, she's good mid-range, long range, down low. Out of Melbourne, Australia, started her career at Oregon, part of that amazing recruiting class, which seems like about 1 million years ago now.
Scramble on the floor, ball rolls out of bounds. It is going to be Pilots' ball, last touch by Stanford. Coming up, our crew sat down with Stanford great Cameron Brink. That's coming up next on the Walt Disney World Resort halftime. Still 3.5 to go here in quarter number 2. 34-17 Stanford lead. Pilots would love to close the gap before the halftime break.
It's just the 4th turnover for Stanford, and this is a Portland team that forces 20 a game.
Portland leading the West Coast Conference so far in steals, blocks per game, forcing turnovers per game as well. 8 seconds on the shot clock. That one rolls in. Dickey gets the basket.
That's a great example of Dickey basketball.
And full court pressure there on Lopolo.
It's the 5-out offense.
Bozgana. Dimitri off to Lopolo. Extra pass, shot clock at 7. Bozgana, floater, no. Fight for the rebound, touch shot of play, Stanford ball. Stanford now at the edge, 22-10 in total rebounds, 9-2 in offensive boards. Coach Meek mentioned rebounding battle is going to be key for the Pilots against the best rebounding team in the Pac-12, one of the best in the country. Once again, is there anything they can do to counteract what Stanford brings to the front court?
Well, I mean, Portland is winning this quarter 10-6, so they're doing a solid job defensively. They've just done a much better job of kind of just slowing things down and making touches be a lot tougher.
Stanford 0 for 4 in their last couple shots from the field. 1 of 9 as well. Lopolo's 3 too strong. Cochran the rebound. Pushing here is Hamilton. Kicks it out. Mogul driving on Bozgana. Hamilton, oh, what a cut. Ananiev puts it in.
It was a beautiful job getting over there. They just stayed with it and kept working hard. It's a 13-point ball game.
Portland far from out of this one. Jump, driving, floater, won't go. Ball out of play as jump falls to the ground. Stanford basketball.
The drive, and now here comes the backdoor cut. And that's just beautiful basketball. Recognize your teammate needs you and find an open spot to cut to.
Ananiev now leading her team with 7 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point land. Dimitri's shot won't go. Falling there on the rebound and drawing the contact is Aguirre.
But you can see what a difference it is for Stanford when Cameron Brink is on the bench and Kiki Iriafen is on the bench. Ariana, 2 personal fouls, Brink 2 personal fouls.
Pilots able to go on a 6-0 run in the last 2+. In addition to force Stanford to miss their last 7 shots.
So you can see the top of the scouting report when you're playing Stanford, get Iriafen and Brink into foul trouble.
As Aguirre makes the first one. Now, that's easier said than done. How do you get those 2 into foul trouble?
Well, you got to be aggressive. You got to take it to them.
Second one rattles in for Aguirre. Lainey Spear now checking in for the Pilots. Freshman forward out of Portland, Oregon. Averages just over 2.5 per game. Hamilton finds a nice pass and putting it into Spear.
Portland's going to be encouraged going to the locker room. They have positive things to talk about.
Down 13, a lot of pressure. Dimitri, bounce pass. Aguirre, no. Dimitri, dispossessed. Hamilton. Skip pass. That one's short.
Even big if that had gone down. Get this thing to a 10-point ball game at halftime.
In Portland, you're feeling pretty good after the start they got off to. Now 45 to go. Clardy up to Dimitri. 8 on the shot clock. 4 on the shot clock. Clardy.
Steps on the sideline. Turnover.
Depth on the sideline. Stanford started out doing an excellent job taking care of the basketball. They now have their 5th turnover of the game. Less than 30 to go. Portland with a huge opportunity to take some positive momentum going into the halftime break. They could cut the lead to 10 or 11 or 12 with a free throw. 15 to go. Shearer. 10 to go. Working on jump. Puts it up and in. 11-point game. Bosgana does not draw the foul.
Steps on the sideline.
Called out of bounds.
They draw Cochran out to the perimeter, and it opens up the inside for one-on-one coverage, and Shearer doing a nice job. 8 points so far in this first half, the leading scorer.
Pilots now have made 4 of their last 5. 1.7 to go. Almost a volleyball hit there on me. And Nadia tried to put it up, but ran out of time. Still a lot of positive momentum for Portland there. Just before the halftime break, 11-point ball game. After Stanford got off to a massive start, almost doubling up the Pilots, they've now made it an 11-point game. Leading the way for Stanford, Brooke Dimitri and Cameron Brink, each with 8 points. Hannah Jump with 6. 11 points going into the halftime break. Mary Murphy and Kylan Mills here with you. Welcome back into Maples Pavilion. It really was the tale of 2 quarters after Stanford got off to a very hot start. In the second quarter, they really struggled once Cameron Brink and Kiki Iriafen got into some foul trouble. How did that change this game?
It changed the game completely, and this is something Stanford's got to get a lot better at. If one or both of those players are out of the game, how are they going to stay even and compete? And they just did not do a great job of it in that second quarter. And when you look at something like points in the paint being even with these 2 teams, boy, there's a lot that Tara needed to talk about in that halftime, and we'll see how Stanford comes out in the second.
A big catalyst for that late Pilot run was Emmy Shearer, had 8 points, and a lot of them coming in the second quarter. Why was she so effective?
Well, they stay with it. I mean, this is a very veteran team, a couple of great freshmen, but they are a veteran group, and they're not going to give up. They have an outstanding coach in Coach Meek, and they just got it isolated inside, and it got into attack mode. And then you talk about the job that Brooke Dimitri did in the middle of this zone. She just was on fire. Just great passes to her. They knew exactly where the soft spots were, and she just got after it. 8 points. did a great job, and I think none of those were threes. Even more impressive. And then Cameron Brink, before she got into foul trouble, was dominating. Inside, outside, defensively, blocking shots, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of them offensive. Here's a great look at one, and 1 block shot.
Here are the Walt Disney World Resort first half stats, and that's where that one offensive foul called on Cameron Brink starts to add up. She went to the bench. The Cards struggled, and a look at the first half stats. Anything stand out about what you're seeing on the screen?
Well, I'm not surprised by the rebounds, but Stanford is plus in at 13 offensive rebounds. It's an area that, for Portland, they have got to address. But you would think that Stanford would dominate points in the paint. Did not happen. It's got to happen in the second half.
Stanford also not cashing in on those O boards. Just 4 second chance points to the Portland Pilots 2. Second half action coming up here from Maples Pavilion. Stanford on top 36-25. Second half about to get underway here inside of Maples Pavilion. 9th-ranked Stanford hosting Portland. And it's very important to start off this half. Kiki Ariafen and Cameron Brink get into a rhythm early and stay out of foul trouble.
You see what they do. They're both on the floor for a significant amount of time. Ariafen's going to be shot out of a cannon. She played just 6 minutes in that first half. Spent a lot of time sitting with those personal fouls.
You know how important Cameron Brink is to this team as well. Talked about that Gonzaga matchup. She wasn't able to play in the second half due to illness. Kiki Ariafen also was held under her season averages. Averages 17 points, 10 boards per game, was held to 10 and 7. And Stanford dropped that contest. How do they need to attack this Portland team here early in quarter number 3?
Just get back to what you were doing in the first quarter.
Portland, though, with a first possession, second half underway. Starters back in the game for both teams. Dickey, an aggressive drive and lay-in.
When you have some success in the first half, that's what it breeds, and that is Dickey. She just finds angles and just made some adjustments so she didn't get blocked.
Portland now going into the full court press, cutting the deficit to single digits here.
They have fought halfway back. They were down 18 at the end of the first quarter.
Down 21 early in the second. Bosgana gets the foul and one opportunity.
Dickey finds an angle and just explodes the bucket. Gets by Ariafen. The adjustment late by Brink. And then Bosgana. Here where she has gotten much, much better. Just take it down a notch. Don't be in such a hurry all the time.
Talk about the importance of international experience. Bosgana also has represented Greece on its senior national team. Also played in a number of youth events as well. A player who brings in that international experience.
Yeah, a year ago she spent a lot of time just shooting every time she got in the ballgame. Now she's defending at a higher level and she's rebounding.
See the vast improvement. Shearer, though, caught up. Somehow gets it over Bosgana.
We can see the strategy by Coach Meek, and that is to draw Cameron Brink away from the basket and open it up inside.
Bosgana for 3, no. Brink trying to run down that O-board. Chance for here to Portland to make it a single deficit game once again. Cochran on the drive, denied. Brink got a piece there up ahead to Ariafen.
Great catch by Ariafen. The pass by Lopolo.
Acrobatic move, won't fall. Pushing here. Meek for 3. Off iron.
So for Portland, you have 2 opportunities to cut the lead, and you don't do it. Those are the kind of opportunities you must take advantage of.
That last shot, were you okay with the selection, or should they have gone deeper into the shot clock on that possession?
I just think if you're open against Stanford and you're feeling good about it, take the shot.
Ariafen now driving on Dickey.
Her third.
Foul called. It's her third as it's an offensive foul. Charge called on Kiki Ariafen as she checks out of the game.
Made the decision where she was going to go, and this is a veteran player in Dickey. Again, all those great games. She played for USF, the transfer to Portland, a grad student, and she just knows how to position herself.
Last season, 251 rebounds, ranked 3rd in the conference. Rebounding average was 4th. And getting it done down low. Can't get that one, though. Battling. Called a jump ball.
Again, you start adding them up. Our third try, we come down, we're trying to get this thing to 7 or 8, and you're not able to do it. It gets a little discouraging.
Full court press here once again from Portland. Lopolo taking on Hamilton.
That little bumper cars.
Dimitri fouled.
Portland just so much more decisive defensively, just hands active, feet active, jumping in, jumping out. I just feel like they're much more comfortable with what they're trying to do on both ends. Coach Meek is a man who knows what he's doing on that sideline.
Around the horn. Entry pass attempt denied.
Showing
7 on the shot clock. Brink doubled, 3 to go. Gets it to fall.
That was graceful.
41-29 Stanford lead. Brink now with 10. Cochran. Oh, what a block. Brink now pushing.
Cochran blocked twice in a row.
Brink says I'll do it on the other end. And 1.
Brink puts it on the floor. Nice, graceful one-footed move, and then what a pass by Lopolo, and the finish.
Nice little run there. 43-29 Stanford on top. This is the Liberty Mutual Insurance most needed play. The Cardinal needed Cameron Brink to step up here to start the second half, and she's done exactly that.
Well, that's what a player of the year looks like, not just in the conference, but in the country. You make a great play at one end, and then you finish it at the other. The block slash steal, push it ahead, give it up, get yourself in position, be ready, finish strong.
Brink now with 12 points, the chance to make it 13. Naismith Trophy watch list player, and every other watch list pretty much that's out there. You pointed out the opportunity to be the best player in the country this season.
Well, we've played 3 minutes so far in this quarter, and she has 5 points, 2 rebounds, and a block.
As she sinks the free throw, extending Stanford's lead to 15.
And again, you go back to those 3 possessions where Portland can't get it into single digits, and Stanford just blows it right back up.
2+ minute scoring drought here for the Pilots. Shot clock at 9 as that one's up and in. Shearer now with double digits.
She's having a great game. Just floats and finds an open angle. 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting and 3 rebounds. See the double team on Brink, saying he could pass it to someone else.
Dimitri drives and gets it.
Beautiful release from high to low. Lopolo with a great feed right to the bucket.
Player whose name we have not said yet, junior guard Maisie Burnham, has been kept scoreless so far, despite leading the team in scoring alongside Shearer, averaging just under 11 points per game. Hamilton. And some extended run off the bench. Shot clock at 6. And Naniev puts it up and lays it in just before that shot clock expired.
Beautiful drive from the high post. Dimitri, a very solid defensive player.
Oh, what a pass.
The timing on that just impeccable. The terrific 4-time freshman of the week in the WCC going to work with all that length at 6'1". And then at the other end, just the beautiful dime from Lopolo into Brink. The beauty of being able to pass with both hands takes away a lot of steals.
Foul called on the floor. Dimitri from 3, it's offline. Naniev pushing. Hamilton gets in the paint, no. Brink bringing the ball up. Loses the handle, turnover. Pushing ahead, and Naniev nicely off Hamilton the lay-in.
Beautiful job running it back by the Pilots. They are feeling so much more comfortable.
Pilots trailing by 13. Really good out in transition. And Ananiev, though, called for the foul.
We don't play like that in Australia.
An unfortunate turnover turns into a big bucket for the Pilots. 46. Talana Lapolo going to the line. Stanford trying to extend the lead after this has been a game of runs, and the Pilots continue to push. They're now trailing by just 11, and they've been continuing to battle. What's been the key to the recent stretch for Portland?
Well, they're just continuing to stay with it, and this is a quarter where they have had more field goal attempts than Stanford, and that has not been the case throughout the first 2 quarters. And you look at Cameron Brink already with the double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds.
Polo sinks the first, but this Portland team, they know a little bit about being gritty. They're coming off of that UTEP game where they won in overtime. They were trailing by 9 in the 4th quarter. Coach Mink talked about his team's ability to stay with it. Despite the fact that they've got some new faces, they're still working on the system. They do have the grit, the determination. He likes the effort he's seen.
And they've got a grad student starting, seniors, juniors. This is a veteran squad.
The exception of Ananiev, who's been a great addition, the freshman jumping in and immediately making an impact, averaging 10.5 per game. Shot clock at 9. Shearer on Dimitri, shot clock at 5. Bosgana the rebound. Polo now pushing, jump, a deep 3, got it!
Coach Mink over there saying, how many times have we said do not leave her open?
Hannah Jump has her 3rd triple of the game. She now has tied Kiana Williams for the most career 3-pointers in program history. 311 is the number. That also ties her for 4th all-time in Pac-12 history as well in career 3s. There's a scramble on the floor. Cardinal come up with it, Dimitri.
Stanford starts making 3s. The entire game changes.
Oh, but that was a nice feed to Brink, who puts it up and in.
Perfect. Hands up. You don't bring it back down. Hannah Jump, and this is from distance. Tying the great Kiana Williams, the pride of San Antonio. Hannah Jump, Kiana Williams. Okay, talk about greatness. Candace Wiggins. That's a nice list.
Next player above her in the Pac-12 is, now that she's tied for 4th, is Sabrina Ionescu. In good company for
Sabrina filled a lot of columns out, a lot of things.
Shot from 3, off iron. Bosgana the rebound.
Definitely covering out on Hannah Jump now from 3. That's like a wake-up call.
53-35, the Stanford lead. Brink couldn't quite bring it in. Stanford on a 7-0 run in just about the last minute and a half. Hamilton driving inside, denied by Brink.
She almost blocked that out to the street. Cameron Brink says hello and goodbye. Someone go find that ball.
Cameron Brink with her 3rd block of the game. Some contact, no foul. Ananiev appears to be in some pain here. Whistle does blow. Brief pause in play. She took some contact there as she was handling the ball. The freshman Diani Ananiev in some pain. Bent over. Hopefully she's okay.
That left arm of Hannah Jump. Coach Meek saying, did you see that? Because I did.
Initially, there was not a foul called on the floor. Officiating crew of Lisa Jones, Mark Merritt, Esther Sue having a conversation.
You know, one of the interesting stories of this ball game is that Cameron Brink was coached by Coach Meek when she was younger, when the family moved back from Amsterdam. And he is not at all surprised by what she has developed into.
Mikkel Meek and Cameron Brink growing up playing together a bit in Beaverton, Oregon, and Michael Meek was both of their coaches at various youth levels.
Nobody wants to see an evaluation of a shoulder.
Ananiev getting checked out by the training staff. Looked like it was contact maybe in the chest or stomach area, like it might have knocked the wind out of her, but getting her shoulder checked out there on the bench. A technical foul has been called. Michael Meek has been called for a technical. Portland's head coach making his voice heard, unhappy with the no call on that last contact, and Diani Ananiev, and he's called for a tech.
Well, as a former coach, I certainly understand the emotion of just giving the officials a piece of your mind when you see one of your best players in that much pain, and it happens right in front of you.
Brink misses the first, makes the second. Now Stanford gets to keep the basketball. Ananiev did not return to the game, still over there on the end of the bench. Jump. Bozgana. Great hands. Jump for three. No. Brink saves it. Dimitri couldn't put it up and in. Pushing here is Hamilton.
How good does that feel? You're the team's leading scorer and you haven't been able to get on the board yet.
Her first basket of the game comes late in quarter number 3. Maisie Burnham averaging just under 11 points, 2.5 boards per game. Has 1,000 career points as Bozgana says, I'll do you one better.
And it comes right back at you. And this is what Stanford needs more of, the inside-out complement. Jump knocking down threes. Bozgana knocking down threes. LaPolo looking for her outside game.
Bozgana now with 6. Mogul driving on her. Gets caught up. Burnham. Turnaround. No. Brink fighting for the rebound. Gets the call.
Bozgana, ball reverses. Dimitri swings it. No hesitation. Solid defense in her face, but she has got some range.
Bozgana shooting just under 43% from the floor, 32% from three-point land. As she does check out for a break, and Brink goes to the line. Stanford in the bonus.
Bozgana goes out with 6 points, but 9 rebounds. She's the second leading rebounder on the Stanford team tonight. That's impressive.
Brink sinks the second, and now it is over a 20-point lead for the Cardinal.
I think that's a career high for Bozgana with rebounds. That's sensational.
13-3 run for the Card. Bozgana putting in the hustle, making those tough plays. It is a career high. 8 was her previous career high. She did it against Hawaii. However, there's a turnover. Stanford gets the ball. Suddenly, what was a 10-11-point game early on in this third quarter has been blown open by the Card. Here's the full court press from Portland. Aguera up ahead to Brink. Gets the foul.
What a great pass. Aguera gets it, takes one hard dribble, and then just launches it. Just beautiful leading chest pass right at Brink. I mean, you got to reward the big when they run the floor like that. Stanford's had such a history over the years when you think about Chineye Gwumike and Nneka Gwumike. Just bigs that can really bust it down the floor.
That was one of the things Coach Meek mentioned about the Stanford team. Their front court hard to defend because it's not just in the low post. They're able to get out in transition, and they can run. How do you try to stop something like that?
Well, you need to run as fast as you can back. And I mean, you got to get on it. And sometimes it's a decision. You don't throw as many at the offensive boards so that you can get people back so you're not giving up layups.
Shearer. Dallow. Under a minute to go here in quarter number 3. Slipping is Hamilton. Dickey driving on Brink. Too easy. About a 10-second shot clock to game clock differential here at the end of quarter number 3. Cameron Brink with 4 blocks. Polo using some time here.
They're just inviting Lapolo to take that shot.
Jumps. Shot is short. Meek. 10 to go. 3 from Shearer. Misses everything. 3 to go. Stolen away from Brink. Last shot. Dallow, though, doesn't take it. Turns around, and that's the end of quarter number 3. 59-38, Stanford leads. How about this block from Cameron Brink?
She just follows, and says, let me turn the lights out.
Pac-12 women's basketball is brought to you by Columbia, the official apparel partner of the Pac-12. And powered by Sprouts Farmers Market, the official grocer of the Pac-12. Welcome back here to Maples Pavilion. Stanford on top, 61-38 here at the start of the 4th, taking on the Portland Pilots. Now, Stanford did fall in the top 25 rankings to 9th, but in the net rankings, they're 2nd, Utah 3rd, and this is what matters when it comes to NCAA tournament time. But just looking up and down, the Pac-12 just so strong in women's basketball, just like they were a season ago.
Yeah, I mean, what's impressive, USC, that nationally no one really knew about, now at 10. Colorado, steady. Washington State, despite the loss to UW, 28. But how about Washington, sitting at 31. Scott Ruick's Oregon State team at 35. Cal, who won today, at 48. Arizona, 51. Just solid, top to bottom for the Pac-12.
Realistically, how many Pac-12 teams do you think make the NCAA tournament this season?
You know, to me, it's just way too early to talk about that, but I will talk about a great pass from Cameron Brink as she just is facilitating so well.
All right, fair enough. Won't put you on the spot for any more predictions. It is very early, but the Pac-12 loaded with talent. 63-38, Stanford with a big lead. Dickey can't get the lay-in. Cameron Brink with another rebound that 3rd quarter at 11 points, 2 blocks, 6 boards after having to sit a big portion of quarter number 2. And she says, why not add in a 3? Just rattles out, though.
Well, I'm sure playing for a coach that she grew up with, that taught her so much about the ball game, is just really helping to motivate her even more. Not that Cam needs additional motivation, because she is just right now unleashed.
Right there will go to the line for the and one opportunity, taking on Dickey there in the low post.
When you have 22 points and all you've taken is 9 shots, but 10 of 12 from the free throw line, and just a huge 15 rebounds, 3 assists, just fills up a stat sheet.
Brink now going to the line. Sinks the free throw, make that 23 points, 15 boards. Dominant performance, largely fueled by that big 3rd quarter for Cameron Brink. Hamilton for 3. Too strong. Shearer tries it again. Falls out of play, Pilots basketball.
Shearer's had a fantastic game. I mean, all her shots are not going down, but the energy, the shot selection, and just the grit she has shown in this game, really impressive.
Shearer with 12 points. Dallow lays it up, gets the foul.
Dimitri, a little push at the end. Kiki Uriafen's going to give it another try. Has spent so much of this game on the bench with foul trouble. Just 8 minutes. Dimitri sits, 10 points.
Not a bad outing for her. 10 points without making a single three-pointer. Dallow misses her first free throw. The redshirt freshman guard of Auckland, New Zealand. Averages just under 6 points per game. This is the second as well. Uriafen the rebound. Jump for three. She's short. Meek pushing. Hamilton, the trail three. No.
Well done. You like the little shovel back. They've had some open looks from three. They just have not gone down.
Uriafen, the move inside.
I like the attitude. She's on the floor. Let's get her the ball.
Dallow. Meek. Meek makes some contact on Lapolo. Gets called. Lapolo grabbing her lip a little bit.
Kiki Uriafen gets post position early. Just turns, spins to the inside, and finishes.
Uriafen with 6 points, 4 rebounds in just 9 minutes. After spending quite a bit of time on the bench with 3 fouls.
Now these are great minutes for a couple of freshmen in Stanford uniforms to really get just quality play with Jump, Brink, and Uriafen on the floor.
Clardy there draws the foul. She was taking on Dallow. Clardy, a 2-time Gatorade Arkansas Girls Basketball Player of the Year. Max Preps Arkansas High School Girls Basketball Player of the Year. 4-star recruit. Oh, Uriafen can't get it to go. Pushing here. Spear kicks it out. Vogel, extra pass. Hamilton. She's short.
Hamilton's had some good looks. They just are not falling for her.
Trying to get that little bounce pass to the weak side. Touch out of bounds. Pilots keep the ball.
Hamilton just 1 for 8, but just solid open. Boscanas comes back in. Jump will sit.
Portland with a 5+ minute scoring drop, but it's not for a lack of opportunities. They've had open shots, just haven't been able to get them to fall here in quarter number 4. His feet inside. Oh, an acrobatic shot. Uriafen the rebound. Pushing. Off to Aguirre. Uriafen up and in.
She's going to try to cram an entire game into this last 7 minutes.
Cameron Brink with that nice pass as well. You pointed out her vision and ability to facilitate. Burnham's 3 won't go. Boscana pushing now. Over the top to Uriafen. Great catch. Draws the foul.
It's been a tough game for Burnham. She averages, she shoots 37% from 3, and it just has not been going down as Brink will sit. Boscana lofts it in. Says, go get it, Kiki. Before the season started, a lot of people talking about how Kiki Uriafen was one of the most underrated, under-the-radar players in the country. And I think people are really getting to see what she can do when she's on the floor. The foul trouble certainly hurting her tonight.
That free throw offline. Uriafen on the national map now after a couple of huge performances this season. Named the Ann Myers Drysdale National Player of the Week back in mid-November.
Steal.
Great defense there, though, by the Card. Boscana, transition 3, no. Hamilton now going the other way. Uriafen, a team best 21.5 points on 73+% shooting and 12 rebounds. Another big stop. Boscana gets the lay-in.
Already dynamic defense the last couple of possessions. Just gives Stanford another dimension.
Stanford continuing to pad the lead, 72-38 here. Your coach, Tara Vanderveer, what do you like about your team's response? As there's a block from Dimitri, but a foul is called.
I think you like everything about it. You know, they're stayed with it. They kind of let Portland back into the ball game, and they've come roaring back. Pass inside, another steal by Clardy, and we're pushing it ahead. And just beautiful timing. Wait for that commitment from Hamilton. Give her a little dime and finish the shot. First points of the quarter for Portland. That's waiting a long time for a point.
Fraley makes the first free throw, makes the second. Her first 2 points of the game. Lee Fraley, the Utah State transfer. Average just under 5 points, 2+ rebounds per game. As that one goes out of play, Stanford keeps it.
When they watch that game film, they're going to tell Brooke Dimitri, just don't dribble it right past half court to the sideline and pick it up. We never want you to do that again in your life.
Clardy here, off to Dimitri.
He wants the ball so bad.
Bosgana's 3 offline, but yeah. Iriafen was just posting up down there. Scramble for the ball, and yeah, Brooke Dimitri on the ground in some pain. Stanford with a sizable lead, but hopefully Brooke Dimitri okay. 72-40, Stanford. Tonight's Eat Clean and Get Results moment is brought to you by Clean Simple Eats. Tonight, it's Hannah Jump making her 3rd triple, tying her with Kiana Williams as the all-time career three-point leader in program history. That was her 311th career three-pointer sunk here for the Cardinal. It also bumps her up to tied with Kiana for 4th all-time in Pac-12 history. Hannah Jump, one of the greatest three-point shooters to wear the Cardinal uniform.
Made 100 a year ago. A 42% career three-point shooter. And that is so challenging because every scouting report, she's at the top of it. Don't let Hannah Jump shoot wide open threes. And that's what she does so well.
What's the key to her being able to continue to shoot with that efficiency? Is it the quick release?
I think it's the whole thing. It's the reps, it's the confidence.
Jump coming back is a graduate
so
student.
many.
And one last curtain call as there's a foul called. 4th foul on Lainey Spear. The 5th team foul. So Stanford now going to be in the bonus. There's the freshman Diani Ananiev. They're on the bench.
No ice on the shoulder. We haven't seen her back in the game, but certainly hopeful that she's okay.
Has not returned, but looks to be in better spirits. Initially was clearly visibly showing that she was in pain, sitting down there at the end of the bench talking with the trainers. Ananiev with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. 4-time West Coast Conference Freshman of the Week.
It's been 5 weeks. She's been it 4 times.
7 on the shot clock. Deep 3, no. Aguero the rebound.
It's an impressive rebound.
She came flying.
3 rebounds.
Aguero. No. Iriafen the O-board. Puts it back up and in.
Beautiful job. Looks down at the floor, knows exactly where she is and where to finish.
Iriafen with 11, really trying to fit that entire game here into this 4th quarter. After sitting out for quite some time with some foul trouble. A lot of youngsters in here getting some experience for Portland as well as Fraley gets that one up.
Nifty little shot.
Now in transition here, Bosgana. Can't get it to go. Portland did a good job getting back. We'll get back in transition. Mogul working. Another freshman guard out of Happy Valley, Oregon.
I like this strategy by Coach. Give everyone a chance. Get out on the floor, play at Stanford.
9 on the shot clock. Won't go though. Nice little turnaround. Clardy up ahead to Aguirre, lays it in.
She was so open when she turned over that left shoulder. She had to just kind of slow down.
Aguirre now with 10. After initially going 1 for 5 from the floor, now has a pair of buckets and 6 free throws. How about the ability to get to the line? Dallow trying to fight for positioning in there. Big 3 though.
That's a good looking shot.
Natalie Fraley with a couple of baskets here.
Just the 4th made 3 for Portland. They've had some good looks.
Portland shooting 24% from 3 as Kiki tries to lay it in. Out of play, going to be Portland ball. Lauren Green checking in for Stanford, the sophomore guard out of Castro Valley, California, playing in her 6th game of the season. Made 9 appearances off the bench as a freshman. Looking for her first basket of the season as well. Vogel caught up. Street line. Dallow driving inside. Nice finish. If you're a freshman, how much confidence does it give you to come out against the Cardinal on their floor and to put up baskets inside like that?
I just think it's just a great experience.
There's a collision down there on the other side. Clardy brought down. Cardinal get the baseline inbounds play, but there's no one there to throw it in. Their Green goes over. Avi Papadaki also into the game. Feed inside. Aguirre spinning. No.
She wanted that one. That was a beautiful move.
So close, and the foul is called going the other direction.
Lay in bed tonight and think about that one. Beautiful pass inside. Great decision. Spin. Just cannot get it to go down.
Kick out. Dallow on the drive. Gets the and one.
Out of New Zealand, the redshirt freshman. Aggressive, handles the contact and the finish. Redshirted a year ago. 6 points a game.
This is the free throw, though, at 10 points, 2 boards against Oregon, another Pac-12 foe at the end of November. Oh, how about coast to coast, though? Clardy takes it herself. Now looking ahead, Stanford hosts UC Davis coming up on the 20th before Pac-12 play begins. They play at California as that foul is called on Green. And after today's matchup, they host UC Davis, 1 o'clock tip-off on the 20th. They play at California, the rivalry matchup to kick off Pac-12 play. And then they're off and running Washington State and Washington, 2 teams you pointed out in the net ratings, right hanging around the top 31.
Cal played this morning / this afternoon. They beat Eastern Washington. They have moved to 9-2, and in that game, Marta Suarez, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and Michelle Onya off the bench, 12 points and 8 rebounds.
Suarez, a huge addition. The transfer has been the Tennessee transfer. California continuing to look much improved. However, for Stanford, during this last stretch, the final few tune-ups before Pac-12 play, what does this team need to focus on to fine-tune things?
Well, I think the to-do list is long. Continue to incorporate these freshmen, get Courtney Ogden healthy. You know, improve the balance inside to out.
Iriafen with 13 now. Iriafen steals it away.
We're going to have a special season to win this last and final Pac-12 conference title when you have Utah, UCLA, USC, the list goes on and on, Colorado.
Stanford, the reigning Pac-12 regular season champions, going up against quite the competition. 5 seconds to go.
Portland's going to have a great year.
81-51, the Stanford Cardinal with a massive win over the Portland Pilots, bouncing back from their first loss of the season against Gonzaga 12 days ago, take down their West Coast Conference foe. However, for Portland, you just said you think they're going to have a great season. What did you like about the Pilots in this game?
They fought back. They got rolled early, and they just kept battling. And they had some great moments in this game. But when you talk about Stanford, you talk about Cameron Brink. And when she gets into foul trouble, Stanford's in trouble. When Cameron Brink's on the floor, Stanford's a different team. 23 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. You just add up the numbers.